And amidst the outrage over the Pune Porsche horror, where a 17-year-old was accused of ramming his Porsche car into a bike, killing two people, today the father of the 17-year-old has been arrested in Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. He is, of course, a well-known real estate developer, and also along with him, the owners of the two bars where the 17-year-old is said to have frequented have also been detained. And in fact, all three have been remanded to custody till the 24th of May. The police, however, have countered charges that either they went soft in this case or were too lenient. This is what the police had to say.
पुलिस ने डे 1 से 304 आईपीसी का ऑफेंस रजिस्टर करने का बात हो, या कोर्ट में जो हमने एडल्ट करके ट्रायल करने का बात हो, या फादर और पब्स वालों पे जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट के तहत गुना दाखिल करने की कार्रवाई हो, पुलिस की भूमिका सख्त पहले दिन से शुरुआत से है। मैंने कल ये भी किया था कि मैं ओपन, हमारा चैलेंज है कि कोई भी लीगल एक्सपर्ट का पैनल हमारे सामने आ जाए और इसमें कोई दूसरा मार्ग जो कि हमने जो भूमिका ली है उससे ज्यादा स्ट्रिंजेंट हो सकता था, अगर कोई हमको सुझाए तो मैं उस चर्चा के लिए तैयार हूं।
Remember that this is an incident that took place on Sunday morning where the Porsche car rammed into the bike, instantly killing the two techies. Now, the families of these two techies are in a state of shock and they are demanding justice in this entire case. Politics has now broken out over this incident, with Uddhav Sena's Sanjay Raut coming out to say that the juvenile was also served a burger and a pizza while in the custody of the police. Remember that he was released out on bail in just 15 hours after the incident, and also alleging that one of the NCP MLAs of the Ajit Pawar faction had also had a role in securing, or at least the police going soft on this particular case.
हे अजित पवार गटाचे आमदार आहेत, ते तसेच वागणार, माणुसकी शून्य लोक आहेत ते। तुम्ही त्याला पोलीस स्टेशनला पिझ्झा खायला घालताय, बर्गर खायला घालताय, बाजूला दोन मुर्दे पडलेले आहेत, खोटा रिपोर्ट देताय मेडिकल।
The MLA in question, Sunil Tingre, has denied all such charges of him actually proposing any such leniency. In fact, in a long social media post, he has said that this was nothing but an attempt to defame him. And in fact, also the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, has expressed his shock at this incident and has demanded that the juvenile should be tried as an adult.
जिस समय इस लड़के को जुवेनाइल जस्टिस बोर्ड के सामने पेश किया गया तो बोर्ड ने उसमें बहुत ही लीनियंट व्यू लिया और दो लोगों के मरने के बावजूद भी एक प्रकार से केवल 15 दिन का सोशल सर्विस का काम उनको दिया। इससे आउटरेज और बढ़ा। ये जो क्राइम है ये हिनियस क्राइम है। मला असं वाटतं की याच्यावर राजकारण करणं किंवा याच्यामध्ये पोलिसांना दोषी धरणं हे चुकीचं आहे।
And for more on this, let's go across live to the Commissioner of Police of Pune, Mr. Amitesh. Kumar, thank you so much for joining us here on the show, sir. Let me begin by asking you, sir, first and foremost, you are now saying that you want the juvenile to be tried as an adult. But why would then the Juvenile Justice Board go ahead and grant, this kind of bail to this particular individual with bizarre circumstances and conditions that he has to write an essay?
See, number one, we had taken the most stringent possible path we could have taken in this case. The legal provisions which is mandated had been applied. With due procedure, we moved to the court with two applications. Number one, saying that it is a heinous crime as defined under Section 2 of the Juvenile Justice Act, which was amended after the Nirbhaya incident. Heinous crimes means that offence which has more than 7 years of punishment. This 304 IPC which we had invoked has punishment of more than 7 years, and hence it's a heinous crime. We had tried to tell the court that looking at the circumstances, when a juvenile 17 years 8 months old takes a car without a number plate to one pub and parties and has alcohol, goes to another party, again has alcohol, makes online payments from his cards, and then he drives at a rash speed leading to loss of 2 lives. It is heinous enough to be tried as an adult, and that is what our case was before the Juvenile Justice Board. Now, what order the Juvenile Justice Board has passed on day one is in public domain, and all of you are aware of it. I need not comment. I am not. It would not be prudent and proper for me to comment on the order of the Juvenile Justice Board. However, we had said on day one itself that this order is not acceptable to us, and we shall exercise all our judicial remedies which we have at our command. We made an appeal in the district court yesterday, and the district court today passed an order saying that under section 104 of the Juvenile Justice Act, the Juvenile Justice Board has the power to modify, amend or revise its orders, and hence you first go to the Juvenile Justice Board again. We had again moved an application to the Juvenile Justice Board today, and they are considering our application, and they have listed the matter tomorrow at 11 o'clock for hearing, and we hope to get a favorable order, our application to be favorably considered by the Juvenile Justice Board. I would also like to add that whatever is the outcome of our application here, we shall leave no stones unturned for on both 2 counts. Number 1, to try this juvenile accused as an adult, and number 2, to have him remanded in the remand home till our application of treating him as an adult is decided by the relevant court. So, in nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, on day one itself, the police had adopted the most stringent possible approach and continues to do so. We shall take the case to its logical conclusion. Now, what you mentioned about the evidence part, I can say that we have been relying on technical evidence, and we have enough CCTV footages and other technical evidences to make a strong, watertight case, which is corroborated by oral evidence as well. Okay. This is as far as the incident is concerned. No. On the second front, on day one itself, we have moved. We had proceeded against the father and the pub establishment under section 75 and 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act for serving liquor to the juvenile and facilitating him, the father facilitating him to get into this act. This would probably be the first case where the father and the pub owners would have been proceeded against under section 75 and 77 of the Juvenile Justice Act. And we have arrested the father as well as the pub owners. We have got 4 days custody of 3 accused. The father and 1 more are going to be produced tomorrow. We shall be proceeding against them also in a very, very stringent and severe manner.
Sir, on the one hand, you are saying that here is a person who has visited the pubs, had alcohol, an underage drinker, underage case of drinking, rash driving as well. But how is it then that the preliminary medical report says that there is no trace of alcohol in the bloodstream?
See, number one, the blood report, blood sample has been sent to the forensic department for examination and report. The report has yet not been received. But what I'm trying to say is, in spite or despite of whatever the blood report comes, we still have a watertight case, because you must understand that this is not a case of 304A, a rash and negligent act. It is not a case of a normal fatal accident. Here we have a case of culpable homicide not amounting to murder, where our case is that the accused was under full knowledge that his act and conduct is likely to cause death. His act and conduct of being a juvenile, going to a pub, partying and having alcohol, coming out, going to another pub and having alcohol, coming out, driving in a rash manner at a high speed on a narrow street of Pune. Our case is that he had full knowledge that this act of his is likely to cause death. It is different to what the ingredient of 304A is. Okay. I would just like to tell you that. And so, in spite or despite of what the blood report contains, the legal course is not going to change, is what I am trying to say.
So, simple question. Was the accused in a state of inebriation?
We are saying that the accused had consumed alcohol, but he was under full knowledge. He was in his full senses to have the knowledge
that the act of his and the conduct of his is likely to cause death.
Well, sir, we are talking at a time when the opposition has made some very serious charges. They are saying that the 17-year-old accused was fed pizzas and burgers while he was in the custody of the Pune police. They have even demanded your resignation because very clearly they are alleging a very, very lenient approach when it comes to this particular boy who happens to belong to a rich family and has taken the lives of two young people. What was the procedure followed when he was taken into custody, and is it true that he was indeed fed pizza or burgers?
See, I am repeating, even at the cost of repetition, I would like to say that the most stringent possible path was adopted by the police on day one. It was not a reactionary step. It was a proactive step. It was much before the media and the public outrage. I am also going on record to say that I am ready to face any legal panel of experts who can suggest me any better path, any more stringent path. These allegations are thoroughly baseless. We do not take action based on the economic strata of an individual. We have taken the most aggressive possible path within the legal mandate, and I stand by it. Anyone can come and question me on this. I am open. I am ready to go on a public debate on any open platform.
Now, Sunil Tingre, an MLA of the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, has taken to social media. He's put out a post or a statement saying that defamatory comments are being made against him, that he tried to influence cops in this particular case. So let me ask you a pointed question here. Was there any kind of political pressure that was being built upon the Pune police?
Absolutely not. You would see that the legal course which the police took was absolutely as per law and the most stringent possible. So where is the question of political or any other intervention? There was absolutely no political intervention. In fact, even if it was only to ensure that we take the most stringent possible path and we take the case to its logical conclusion with strict action against the guilty and the accused, and to get justice to the victims.
And sir, you've now arrested the father of the accused, for allowing his son to drive the car. There are many who would question whether this is just a face saving after the son managed to get bail.
I'm sorry. I think the people who are making these allegations are not clear of the facts and circumstances. I have been telling that whatever action we have taken, whatever path we have chosen, was the most stringent possible path, and it was all taken on day one itself, much before the media and the public outrage. It was not reactionary, it was proactive in nature. So all these allegations are thoroughly baseless and malafide, which needs to be ignored to my mind.
Sir, but there's a lot of outrage over the JJB's decision to grant bail to this individual with conditions such as writing an essay. So the obvious question then is that did you not build your case strongly enough? Did you not argue strongly enough to allow for things to come to such a pass?
We were equally shocked. Just as a frank admission, we were equally shocked. But there's very little, there's no point commenting on a judicial order. But I can tell you that I had said on day one itself that this is to our mind not acceptable. This is not acceptable to us, and we shall exercise all the legal remedies we have at our command to challenge this order. We had gone in appeal to the higher court, not the high court, to the higher court, the district court, and the district court today heard the matter, and they have sent us back to the Juvenile Justice Board, which has a power to revise and modify its own order. So we expect to get our application favorably considered by the Juvenile Justice Board. But having said that, I can reassure you that even in the remote possibility of our application not being favorably considered, we have our options to go to higher courts, and we shall fight the legal battle till we get remand of the accused remanded to the remand home, and to get permission to try this accused as an adult.
Sir, can you explain to us the circumstances in which this particular vehicle was plying on the streets of Pune and was allowed to be driven without adequate registration or a license? How did that happen?
Yes, we are aware of that. This car was indeed delivered from a showroom in Bangalore in sometime in March 2024. It came to Pune subsequently. The RTO test was done sometime in April or around, and the fees, the registration fees or the road tax fees was not paid, and hence the car did not have a number plate. We are in touch with the RTO agencies. We have sought a report from them, and this is a matter which is mandated in the investigation, and our investigation team is pursuing with the RTO department to get a report so that we can use the relevant report in our case.
And so what's your message to those who are accusing you and your force of going soft in this particular case, or at least taking a very soft approach? What would you say to them? What would you say to the people of Pune?
I would like to reassert the citizens, the people of Pune, that the police took the most stringent possible path in this case since day one. All the allegations or the misconceptions of the police soft peddling in the matter is not true, is not factual, and is totally wrong and baseless. I can assure the people of Pune that number one, we will take the case of the fatal accident to its logical conclusion and have the accused punished under section 304 of the IPC. We will also take the case against the father and the pub establishments to its logical conclusion and have them punished. On a different issue, the pub culture, the nuisance of the pubs in terms of disorderly conduct outside the pubs or in terms of the underage being served with liquor has been taken very, very seriously, and we shall, in coordination with the concerned departments, get onto this and try and do whatever is possible to stop this menace.
All right, Mr. Amitesh Kumar, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your comments on what is very clearly an incident that has sent shockwaves across the country. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And for more on this, let's go right across to our guest. Joining us with us is Akhilesh Awadhya, who is in fact an uncle of the victim. Also joining us is Naveen Chomal, lawyer. Naveen Chomal, let me begin by asking you a very simple question. Here is a case where the Pune police says that he should be tried as an adult, not a juvenile. And a lot of people commenting on this on social media and otherwise are saying that if he is, going to a bar consuming alcohol, if he is driving a car, all of these are things that a person can do only after the age of 18. At the end of the day, he has snuffed out 2 young lives. Can he be allowed to get away so easily? How would you respond to that, Mr. Chomal?
Madhav, there is no denial about the tragedy, and heartfelt condolences for the dear departed people, and there can be no words to express the grief. But now what the situation is something like this, please appreciate that Juvenile Justice Act has also been drafted with a particular view and to achieve certain objects to reform the minors, and then they have to serve larger goals for the society. And in such cases, an instance like this, where a minor has to be given the advantage of being below the age of 18. So he has rightly been given bail by the court, considering that he is a minor. So, but the overall law cannot be criticized because it is otherwise serving a larger interest where the minors are being protected from becoming hardcore criminals. So that is where the law wants to achieve certain objects. But in certain cases like this, we can see
protecting the minors from becoming hardcore criminals is one thing. But what about rich, spoiled brats who are taking the entire system for a ride? Driving a car without a license or registration for over a month and a half. It was bought in March, I believe. Consuming this alcohol, killing 2 people. There are limits to what even people can wrap their minds around. And on top of all of that, police reportedly going soft. There's an allegation of Mr. Sanjay Raut that, he was served pizza, burger, etc. while he was in the police custody.
That I don't know, but what your concerns are absolutely right. I am on the same page. And the people who allowed him to consume liquor in the pub, they should be booked. His father should be booked. for giving in the keys of that car, that to a Porsche with such a powerful engine which can drive to such a high speed. So all the adults involved in the picture should be booked and punished very heavily. There is no doubt about it. My only slight focus was that though the minor may apparently be seen to be getting the advantage of the system, but the system is basically designed to cover the larger view, larger aspects of the society, and have certain
let's get in a view from the victim side. Let's understand what the victim and the pain that they are going through, Mr. Avadia.
Exactly,
First and foremost, certainly condolences to you and your family members. Explain to us the kind of difficult moment, Mr. Avadia, that your family members have gone through. And when you hear these kind of arguments that no, there is a system that is designed to protect certain people, what would you like to say on behalf of your entire family to all those, to try and explain the kind of pain that the family must be undergoing at this point of time and demanding justice? Because writing an essay certainly does seem to be an extremely low punishment for the kind of acts that have been committed.
इस केस में जिस प्रकार से पुलिस ने तो वहाँ जमानत का विरोध करना चाहिए था और वो दारू पिया था, इसका मेडिकल होने के बाद वहाँ पुलिस को मेडिकल की कितनी मात्रा में लिया था, जो निगेटिव आया है, जैसा कि हम लोग देख रहे हैं मीडिया की रिपोर्ट कि उसके शरीर में निगेटिव जो दारू की मात्रा है निगेटिव में पाई। इसी प्रकार से जो पुलिस ने और भी जो चीजें हैं, जैसे उसका 17 साल 8 महीने की बता रहे हैं, तो उसको निर्भया कैसे देखते हैं तो उसको एडल्ट में 18 साल लेना चाहिए था और इसकी पैरवी पुलिस को न्यायालय में करनी चाहिए था, तो बोर्ड के सामने करना चाहिए था, जो उन्होंने नहीं किया, इसलिए उनको बेल मिल गई। ये एक बहुत दुखदायी क्षण है जो इस प्रकार से बेल और इसमें कंडीशन छोटी सी निबंध लिखना या उसका साइट्रिक टेस्ट होना या ट्रैफिक पुलिस के पास में जाके उसको 15 दिन के काम करना, ये छोटे मोटे केसों के लिए हो सकती है। 2 जान जाने के लिए, हत्या करने के लिए इस प्रकार की कंडीशन बड़ी दयनीय स्थिति है। कानून का ये दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और जुवेनाइल का ये बहुत बड़ा दुरुपयोग हो रहा है।
The point over here, this is दुरुपयोग हो रहा है जुवेनाइल कानून का, नवीन चोमल। साथ ही साथ उनका ये कहना है कि these kind of incidents, where is the kind of message being sent out that people cannot get away with this kind of behavior? Right from the BMW case that we saw in the late 90s in the national capital to now, over 2 decades, things really have not changed. At the end of the day, there are still these powerful cars that are being abused by rich, spoiled brats. How is that going to change?
Definitely, sir. I'm not arguing against you. I'm not totally against what your views are there. I fully respect your concern and the feelings of the relatives of the 2 departed people. What I want to humbly focus upon is that definitely the elders who are involved in the particular act, who have facilitated the minor to commit this particular offense, they should definitely be booked and a very harsh action should be taken. There should be no lenient view.
What about the police, sir? What about the police? Because if the blood levels are showing below the permissible limits, when clearly the police is saying that he has taken or consumed alcohol at 2 places, then obviously there has been some intervention to help him. And he's out on bail in 15 hours. It's absolutely shocking. The system is clearly loaded to benefit those with money and power. How will that change, Mr. Chomal?
No, Madhav sir, we are experiencing the view in this regards even from the Supreme Court also. The moment they see a minor, even in murder cases, we have seen Supreme Court to be taking a very extremely lenient view. As we have seen in the case of Nirbhaya also, Supreme Court has taken an extremely lenient view, and in that case of Mohammed Afroz. Of course, I am not comparing this to that. I am just giving the situation what is existing today. But the system that has what has been existing today is basically the minor are given a very big
अवधिया साहब, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? अवधिया साहब, बहुत कम वक्त है, लेकिन आप चोमल साहब और जो समर्थन में आ रहे हैं इस लड़के के, उनको क्या कहना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि उनका ये कहना है कि हमारे देश का कानून सिस्टम और कानून व्यवस्था ही ऐसा है जो जुवेनाइल्स को बहुत सारे राइट्स और पावर्स देता है, इसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं लाया जा सकता। क्या जवाब देना चाहेंगे आप उन्हें?
ये जुवेनाइल का जो सिस्टम है इसका दुरुपयोग हो रहा है, क्योंकि ये जो 17 साल 8 महीने की बात हो रही है, इसको एडल्ट के रूप में लेना चाहिए। उसके भी कोई भी क्रियाकलाप सब कोई भी माइनर के जैसे नहीं थे, सब एडल्ट के जैसे थे। वो खुद पब में दारू पीने गया था, 2 पब में दारू पिया है और बिना लाइसेंस के, और पोर्शे गाड़ी 200 किलोमीटर प्रति रफ्तार से ले जाके हिट किया है। किसी ने उसको बताया नहीं था, बोला नहीं था, वो अपने से किया है। और जब ये सब काम कर सकता है एडल्ट के, तो इसमें न्यायालय को ये देखना चाहिए था कि वो माइनर के लिए नहीं, एडल्ट के लिए उसको धाराएं लगानी चाहिए था, और एडल्ट के रूप में उसको सेशन न्यायालय में उसको प्रोड्यूस करना चाहिए था।
Actually, there is also provision.
Well, Mr. Avdia,
for treating the minor
Mr.
in such
Chauhan,
cases
certainly
like
an
a
issue where there is a lot of concerns on either side. At the end of the day, juveniles need to be protected, but in this particular case, when there's such blatant violations of the provisions of law, and in fact all sorts of shortcuts appear to have been taken, is this just another ordinary case? Well, the jury's still out on that one, but certainly all eyes, nationally speaking, on this particular case as to whether a message will be sent out so that such cases are not repeated anywhere in the country again. Thanks so much for joining us this evening.